My name is Rod Cameron. I have a company called Criterion Communications, but through that company I act as Executive Director of AIPC, which is the International Association of Convention Centers, for the Convention Centers of Canada and also the Joint Meetings Industry Council.
What in your view is the biggest priority for the meetings industry today?
I think there are two things. The first is what you could call relevance. Again, with the kind of financial turmoil, economic turmoil we've had over the last few years, everything has been called into focus as to how we demonstrate real value around what this industry does. Not just in terms of some of the traditional measures, but in terms of how we support the broader economic situation in the world, economic growth and recovery, areas that we're not perhaps as familiar with as we should be, but where we need to be able to demonstrate a good value proposition. The second one is probably best described as change. Everything is changing. Meeting formats are changing, expectations are changing, the way in which we are expected to demonstrate value, as I mentioned, is changing, and it's happening very, very quickly. So all of us have to get used to the idea that things are in a state of constant transition and figure out how we're going to adapt to that.
And more specifically, what kind of challenges do you feel conference centres are facing at present?
Conference centers, generally speaking, are buildings with a long lifespan. They're existing, though, in a climate where the meeting formats and the meeting expectations are changing on a very, very regular basis. The problem with that is that when you're working within a fixed context, a fixed building structure, for example, or servicing structure, you have to be rethinking how you're able to deliver what it is that the client wants. And those expectations in many cases are changing literally on a day-by-day basis. The same applies to other aspects of the industry. Planners, again, have new generations of delegates that they're having to deal with. They have new technologies, they have new ways that meetings are being carried out, and they need to figure out how to be able to respond to that in a positive and constructive kind of way.
You mentioned that you're from North America, from Canada specifically.
Yes.
How does the North American market view the UK market?
Well, competition in this industry today is such that everybody is looking for every possible business opportunity, and markets that may not have been a high priority when there was lots of business around are now very interested in seeing if there are other sectors they can get into, other markets they can get into, that will offer them a different kind of a business opportunity. So for buyers from North America, for example, looking into Europe, they would be looking from the point of view of what events might be able to come to North America, what kind of events they could see as potential business. So an event in this part of the world needs to be able to offer up the prospect that there will be business opportunities for North American venues, because otherwise, if they're simply coming to observe what's going on in another part of the world where the buyers and sellers already have an established relationship, it's not going to be of much interest to them.